for over 10 years. However, not much is known about the game due to its frightening nature scaring off even the toughest of players. Friends, viewers, countrymen, I took one for the team. I played through this game from start to finish. In the following video, I will be recounting the horrors I witnessed in the form of a top 10 list, as well as 3 honorable mentions. Folks, I now present to you the top 10 scariest moments in LEGO Star Wars. Disclaimer, this video is not intended for children, as it contains rather frightening footage taken directly from the video game LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Continue watching at your own risk. Before we indulge in this terrifying list, I would like to go over 3 honorable mentions that didn't quite make the cut. The first honorable mention goes to the scene where Padme almost dies in her sleep from several poisonous centipedes crawling into her bed in the midst of the night. How could a scene this terrifying only make it to honorable mentions, you ask? Well, you see, I ranked the scenes based on my initial reaction after experiencing them. This one only made me pee. The second honorable mention goes to another scene from Attack of the Clones, this one being where Jango Fett shows up at the droid factory. For all of you who are too afraid to play the game, I'll explain it briefly. There's a moment in Attack of the Clones where Obi-Wan Kenobi is held hostage by Count Dooku. You play as Anakin and Padme on a long journey to free him, and once you finally get there and achieve your goal, Jango Fett arrives immediately with a battalion of droidekas around him. I'm personally not a fan of jump scares. They make me sneeze. This scene struck me like nothing before it. Now, the third moment I have as an honorable mention goes to the scene where the Tusken Raiders arrive at the pod race. The pod racing level is already stressful enough, but then they need to add these terrifying creatures carrying rifles into the mix. If anyone knows how to send a chill down my spine, it's TT Games. I would say it's about time we get into the real list, but I will take this moment to really let you guys know that I am not responsible for any mental trauma you may receive moving forward in this video. You have been warned. You are proceeding at your own risk. At number 10, we have the moment from A New Hope, where the garbage chute closes in on our heroes. Talk about nail-biting suspense. After Luke, Han, and Chewie go through absolute hell while trying to save Princess Leia from captivity aboard the Death Star, they are then forced down a disgusting garbage chute while attempting to flee from hostile stormtroopers. Once they land and they're sitting in a massive pile of wet filth, Han Solo shoots off a singular blaster bolt, and this triggers the trash compactor to initiate. I was sweating bullets throughout this entire sequence. I really thought they were going to kill off all of the main characters and the entire game was going to come to an end right then and there. Okay, moving on. At number 9, we have the moment where Darth Maul appears to face Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi in a duel. As the characters continue this uphill battle in which they are slowly beginning to win, everything crumbles as this massive door opens to reveal the absolutely petrifying Darth Maul. The way he stands, his glare, it screams death before our ears. I recall watching the film The Exorcist for the first time, thinking, wow, what a terrifying face. What a disturbing image to look at. But when I played Lego Star Wars, and I saw the face of Lego Darth Maul, I couldn't breathe. I didn't sleep that night, or the next month. At number 8, we have the ending of the battle against General Grievous. At this point of the game, I thought I was on top of things. I was playing as Obi-Wan Kenobi and Commander Cody in a level where you battle General Grievous. Now I was nearing the end of the battle, and I was about to kill him, and finally I took out his final life. But then, it instantly cut to this terrifying cinematic where General Grievous killed Commander Cody and then came after Obi-Wan in the most horrible way. Obi-Wan managed to crawl away just in time, but I really thought I was gonna lose him there. It was suspenseful, and it was horrifying. I almost had a heart attack. At number 7, I put the scene where Luke is attacked and kidnapped by the Wampa. Luke is riding his Tauntaun through the snow on the planet Hoth when this horrifying beast called a Wampa pops up out of nowhere in quite possibly the scariest jump scare of the game and tears him to the ground. Luke is then dragged through the freezing snow and hung by the feet in a very disturbing and chilling cave. Listen, I have seen many horror films in my day, but nothing, and I mean nothing, has made me scream as much as this jump scare. After I screamed so loud from this scene, I lost my voice for a short while, and I had to go to a doctor who told me I permanently damaged my voice. Stay safe playing Lego Star Wars, folks. Stay safe, because it isn't funny what can happen to you. Okay. At number 6, we have Luke getting attacked again, but this time by the Tusken Raiders on Tatooine. Luke Skywalker, being the excellent human being he is, just wanted to go searching for C-3PO and R2-D2 after they were kidnapped by a group of Jawas. While he was searching, looking through his binoculars, one of the disturbing and frightening Tusken Raiders appeared out of the blue right in front of him. Now, I will show the shot of the Tusken Raider jump scaring Luke and us, the audience. But I am going to blur the Tusken Raider's face because it is quite disturbing, and I would like to spare you all your sanity. Here it is. This jump scare was so scary, I fainted. The Wampa jump scare was terrifying in its own right. But this? I literally couldn't handle this. I fainted. I collapsed. I don't know if it was resolved later on. I don't know what happened to Luke. All I know is when I woke up, I was playing as Luke and a seemingly older version of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I don't know what happened with the Tusken Raider. At number 5, we have the moment where the Emperor electrocutes Luke. After traveling to the Death Star with the menacing Darth Vader, Luke stands before the Emperor, who may just be the most terrifying looking person alive. Luke doesn't even do anything. He just walks up, and the Emperor gets angry, stands up from his seat, and electrocutes him. Not even Darth Vader could stomach the situation. We see the conflicting emotions. Should he betray his master to stop this horrible sight? The heinous acts of the Emperor were so terrifying that Darth Vader, the villain himself, intervened. That is horror, my friends. That is what we should be afraid of in this world. True horror that can turn an evil villain against his even more evil villain master. At number 4, I put the scene where Anakin is turned into Darth Vader. This is one of the true horrors of the world. Seeing an innocent man be turned into a monster. I always looked up to Anakin until I witnessed him slaughtering Jedi. And after that, he had a descent into madness. Just seeing this noble hero be turned into such a monster was enough to bring me to tears. Not only does LEGO Star Wars play on the psychological horrors that torment our souls day in and day out, but it is a masterful study of the human condition, unlike anything we have ever seen previously. This only made the game so much more emotional and difficult to get through. The scene perfectly conveys the anger coursing through Darth Vader's veins as he destroys everything inside of the room. When this started happening on my TV, I was wiping away the tears from my face, and I got up and I dived behind my couch because I couldn't bear to look at the screen anymore. It was becoming too much for me to handle. I had to look away. I had to hide. I couldn't handle it anymore.
Come with us, young one.
At number 3, we have the moment where our heroes fall
Take
into
whatever
the
you want.
Rancor pit. If there's one thing I took away from this scene, it's that Jabba the Hutt is not to be negotiated with. After Luke Skywalker becomes quick-tempered and grabs a blue mug to face off in a duel against Jabba the Hutt, Jabba retaliates by hitting a button that opens a trapdoor underneath all of our heroes standing atop it, and they all tumble inside of a gross, sandy pit. Inside of this pit, we are treated to an unpleasant surprise, an unbearable monster known as a Rancor. We are then immediately thrown back into gameplay and have to face off against this horrible monster ourselves. This wasn't just a cutscene. I couldn't just look away like I do for most of them. I had to face off against the Rancor myself. I was playing! This was easily the most difficult portion of any level to play. I almost gave up on the game. I almost did. But I thought, you know what? I'm almost at the end. Return of the Jedi, this is the last storyline. I'm almost at the end, and I stuck with it. And I kept marching on, but I had to take some time to recover after I finished this level. So, my warning to all of you viewers is just to be careful with this one. It doesn't matter how many horror films you think you've seen. It doesn't matter how well you think you can stomach the gruesome terrors of Lego Star Wars. This will get to you, just as it got to me. So I ask you to be careful with this one. Consider what you are doing before you play this portion of the game. For number 2, I put the moment where Darth Vader appears in Cloud City. All seems to be going well for a moment, while Lando introduces Han, Leia, and Chewie to the likes of Cloud City. I really thought I was getting a breather for this cutscene. I really thought the horrors were letting up for a brief moment. And that's when the door opened, and Darth Vader was sitting at the end of the table they were going to eat dinner at. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for yelling. But what is this? What the hell is this? Is this some kind of sick joke? TT Games, you make me happy. You make me breathe. You allow me to breathe for a brief moment. And then you pull one of the sickest tricks I've ever seen. Putting Darth Vader at their dinner table? TT Games, I understand that you guys know how to craft a great sequence of horror that will stun your audiences, but you went too far with this one.
What's up, bitch?
You went too far.
Yo, what'd you say?
Too far. And then Han Solo fires a bullet, fires a blaster bolt at Darth Vader. And I thought, is this it? Is he finally going to take down this horrific villain? But no! No! That would make the audience feel good. So what TT Games decides to do here is make the blaster bolt deflect off of Darth Vader's hand. That isn't even possible! But Darth Vader did it. And I sat there, bewildered. I couldn't comprehend what I was seeing. The amount of horror displayed before my eyes. Oh, what a game. If you're having a hard time handling the horrors you're seeing right now, I would highly recommend you click off this video now so you don't need to experience what I'm about to show you guys, because it truly is horrifying. Okay. If you're still here, it means that you have accepted that you may never be the same again after seeing what I'm about to show you. Here we are, number 1. It's all been leading up to number 1. For my number 1 selection, I chose Order 66, Yoda and Chewbacca. Some of my favorite Lego Star Wars characters were just walking along, minding their own business. And the clone troopers, who we thought were the good guys, turn out to be the bad guys. And in this sudden turn of events, the troopers, to which we trusted our lives, betray us on the spot. And nobody could have ever guessed that that was coming. Now that the people we thought were our friends have betrayed us and began to fire at us, TT Games forces us, the players, to take control of the lovable Yoda and Chewbacca and slaughter who we thought were our friends right then and there. Nothing to prepare you. Nothing to comfort you. It's the most torturous, horrible, and unspeakable twist ever conceived by the human mind. The folks developing this game must be the most twisted people on this planet for them to allow this to happen. The cutscene made me throw up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna try and hide that. The cutscene made me throw up and pee. But that was only the cutscene. Once the gameplay started, and I was forced to slaughter the men who I trusted, I couldn't handle it anymore. I broke into tears. I fell to the floor. I couldn't bear to look at the screen. Even the thought of what was going on, it disturbed my mind. I don't know if I'll ever be able to play. I don't know if I'll ever be able to play that portion of the game ever again. It was traumatizing. Thank you for tuning into my video, everyone. I don't imagine you were brave enough to make it this far. I don't imagine I'm speaking to anyone right now. But if somehow you made it, then I wish you the best of luck with your recovery. It won't be easy. It wasn't easy for me. In fact, I still haven't recovered. I fainted 4 times while trying to record the audio for this video. And there's no denying that LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga is one of the scariest video games of all time. The game is a masterwork of horror that's been delivering scares to players for over 10 years. However, not much is known about the game due to its frightening nature scaring off even the toughest of players. Friends, viewers, countrymen, I took one for the team. I played through this game from start to finish. In the following video, I will be recounting the horrors I witnessed in the form of a top 10 list, as well as 3 honorable mentions. Folks, I now present to you the top 10 scariest moments in LEGO Star Wars. Disclaimer, this video is not intended for children, as it contains rather frightening footage taken directly from the video game LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Continue watching at your own risk. Before we indulge in this terrifying list, I would like to go over 3 honorable mentions that didn't quite make the cut. The first honorable mention goes to the scene where Padme almost dies in her sleep from several poisonous centipedes crawling into her bed in the midst of the night. How could a scene this terrifying only make it to honorable mentions, you ask? Well, you see, I ranked the scenes based on my initial reaction after experiencing them. This one only made me pee. The second honorable mention goes to another scene from Attack of the Clones, this one being where Jango Fett shows up at the droid factory. For all of you who are too afraid to play the game, I'll explain it briefly. There's a moment in Attack of the Clones where Obi-Wan Kenobi is held hostage by Count Dooku. You play as Anakin and Padme on a long journey to free him. Once you finally get there and achieve your goal, Jango Fett arrives immediately with a battalion of droidicas around him. I'm personally not a fan of jump scares. They make me sneeze. This scene struck me like nothing before it. Now, the third moment I have as an honorable mention goes to the scene where the Tusken Raiders arrive at the pod race. The pod racing level is already stressful enough, but then they need to add these terrifying creatures carrying rifles into the mix. If anyone knows how to send a chill down my spine, it's TT Games. I would say it's about time we get into the real list, but I will take this moment to really let you guys know that I am not responsible for any mental trauma you may receive moving forward in this video. You have been warned. You are proceeding at your own risk. At number 10, we have the moment from A New Hope.